What's up, guys? It's Max and Ben. Before we start this episode, I want to talk about our new merchandise coming out. We have t-shirts, sweatshirts. We have a bunch of cool swag that I want you to buy. Max S Sports, that's the brand, and that's who we are. Ben, you are on Team Max S Sports, and you are very lucky. We have a very small team, but it's the best team I could ever put together.
It's a pretty good team, I'll say that.
Very good team. Now, I want to tell you what our two new merchandise items are. We have golf balls. Titleist, if you're listening to this, I hope you sponsor me. If not, we'll make our own golf ball and it'll be better than Titleist. Also, boxing gloves. I don't even know who makes boxing gloves, but we're going to find the best boxing glove company and we are going to make boxing gloves. They will only be sold in extra small size because those are the only ones that'll fit Preston Gertner's hands. Now I want to talk about my other favorite drink that I drank before my workout. Now I'm going to drink it after my workout because I got a lot of criticism that I didn't finish my drink. I am not the best shotgunner, so I'm going to do what I know how to do best and chug. Red Bull, this is for you.
And he's got it.
Is that finished?
Damn.
Okay. Before we start the episode, I'm going to eat my favorite candy, Reese's. I love Reese's Big Cup. I love the king size. We're kings. We should only be eating the best candy, and we should only be eating king size. Ben, if you were sitting next to me, I'd give you the other one, but I'm starting my diet today.
Right.
I'm only going to eat one. That's another thing I want to bring up. Anyone that has a diet account, please, please, please send me a good diet. I have the worst eating habits. Okay. Let's talk about the game. Very chocolatey. And it gets stuck in your teeth, but it's worth it because it's the best candy in the world. Okay. Let's talk about the reason why Arizona lost. I said at the beginning of the game that they had to run the ball efficiently. They did not run the ball efficiently. Ben, you're going to respond to all these numbers, but I want to say them all. There's three numbers that I want to give. Kenyon Drake, you had 11 carries for 29 yards and one touchdown that came from within the 5-yard line. Kyler Murray, 5 carries, 15 yards. 15. That's just pathetic. Like you're better than that. And Chase Edmonds, 2 carries for 13 yards. You were the most effective runner, but you literally only had 2 carries. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, the Cardinals' offense is very one-dimensional. Seattle was able to stop any running attack, but the Cardinals just didn't run the football enough. They played the option. They gave the ball to Kyler Murray, and they thought that he was able to work his magic like he has in previous weeks, but it just didn't happen for him yesterday.
The reason why it didn't happen, I don't even have this written down, but the reason why it didn't happen is because at the end of the game, when they were down by 2 points with 9 minutes left, Kyler Murray had a bonehead play and he got an intentional grounding. The next play, they got a safety for a hold in the end zone. I do not think that he was in the end zone when he was holding him. That is a whole nother debate, but that's what cost them the loss. They kept getting backed up by penalties. Like, it's so, like, just don't hold and don't get unnecessary roughnesses, and then you'll win the game. Like, why do the Cardinals have the most penalties out of any team in the league? It's just lack of care and lack of fundamentally good football. They'd be undefeated if they didn't have any penalties. Now I want to talk about something I did write down. Hopkins was locked up. Jamal Adams played a great game. When he was guarding Hopkins, he locked him up. And when he wasn't guarding Hopkins, that's when he got his 5 receptions for 51 yards. Ben, do you have anything to say about that?
Yeah, Hopkins was a non-factor completely. They were able to shut him down. That was so huge for Seattle's defense. That was like that was like really what sparked them defensively, being able to shut him down.
Take him out of the game and make other people make plays. And they did.
Hmm.
Dan Arnold caught a touchdown. Edmonds caught a touchdown. Drake ran one in, but it wasn't enough. They needed to run the ball better, and they didn't do that.
Hmm.
I want to talk about the Seahawks defense because you brought that up. DJ Reed Jr., you had 11 tackles, and Bobby Wagner, you had 9 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 QB hit. Combined, those two players had 20 tackles. I'm going to go over the Cardinals defense after, but it was nowhere near that effective. Do you have
Charles
something to say about
Dunlap,
the Seahawks?
Dunlap too with 2 sacks, huge one at the end on 4th and 10 to
Huge.
to ice the
Nice
game.
game.
That the defense showed up for Seattle. They haven't showed up this whole season. And
They
last
played
night
like
they
they
proved
wanted
us all
to.
wrong. They proved us all wrong. They played like the team that was, what they start out like 5-1 or
5 and
something, 6
0.
and
They started 5
five
and
and
0,
0.
and they've been 1 and 3 since, and now they're 2 and 3 because they won last night.
Hmm. Yeah, so that defense was playing like they were in the beginning of the season, and Russell Wilson wasn't really what I from Russell Wilson. I really liked his performance because he was 21 and 28. He was efficient. He ran the ball. He didn't need to chuck up passes. He's been chucking up passes, forcing turnovers. He had 2 turnovers last night, but he was a lot better with the football, throwing the football, finding receivers, and using the running game as well.
That was said perfectly. I by listening to you, all I can think about is my prop bets from last night. I went 2 for 10. That's 20%. I guess I'm not a good bettor, but I know how to predict games a lot better than how players will perform. Hopefully later in the season I'll get better and better every week, but for now, don't trust my prop bets. Now let's talk about the Cardinals. They played good on offense. I mentioned it before, penalties is what killed them. On defense, it was literally Isaiah Simmons' whole team. Isaiah Simmons, you played the game of your life. You had 10 total tackles, 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss, and a QB hit. Now, I want to tell you what the whole team had. The whole team had 5.5 total tackles for loss. So only 3.5 of the other tackles for loss was from the other 10 guys on the field. If Isaiah Simmons wasn't on the field, then I don't even know how many points they'd let up. And lastly, the team had 3 sacks. Isaiah Simmons, you're a linebacker. The other 2 sacks were from defensive end who should be getting sacks. It shouldn't be the linebacker that's getting the sacks, but he had to step up because the rest of his team wasn't doing anything. The other 2 people to get sacks were Michael Dogeby and Angelo Blackson. How do you think the Cardinals performed on defense?
I mean, honestly, better than in previous weeks. This defense has been really up and down. They showed flashes, forced a couple turnovers, which was good. But Seattle's offense is really good. Russell Wilson's a fantastic quarterback. Metcalf, Lockett, they had Carlos Hyde ran for 79 yards.
Carson didn't play.
Seattle had a good. Carson didn't play, but Hyde was able to get 79 yards, and it was a pretty good offensive performance
Yeah,
from
I
from
don't think Russell
Seattle's
Wilson's
perspective.
MVP. I think Kyler will still win MVP. But this game, it scared me. It scared me as a Kyler fan. But
Mhm.
I have confidence in Kyler to turn it around, and he's gonna lead
They're
the.
still a very exciting team.
He's
This
gonna
this
lead the
doesn't change
Cardinals to win.
anything about the Cardinals.
Doesn't change anything. He's gonna lead the Cardinals to win the NFC West. I don't care about strength of schedule or anything. The Cardinals are gonna win the NFC West. Now, the last thing I wanted to talk about, we're gonna make this a tradition. Me and Ben, well, we love FanDuel. We love FanDuel better than DraftKings. It's literally the best website, and all of their games are legal. Like I can play FanDuel and not be scared that I'll be like thrown in jail. Like I'm doing something legal when I'm playing FanDuel. See, I don't play FanDuel. My dad plays FanDuel. That's where it gets a little tricky. He plays and I give him tips and he listens to my tips. But I am not gambling any money because I'm not 21. But here we're starting FanDuel Friday. I love this hat, but you know what hat I'd love even more? A FanDuel hat. FanDuel, if you're watching this, please send me and my friends some hats. Also,
I'll
if
wear it.
you don't want
Definitely
to
rep FanDuel.
Ben will rep FanDuel. We'll wear it for all our videos. But let's say that FanDuel doesn't want to send us hats. Top Golf. You send us hats, you send us shirts, you send us sweatshirts, you send us backpacks, underwear, whatever. I'll literally rep Top Golf head to toe. Like, I am a very loyal supporter, and I'll do whatever it takes to get my name out there. Let's go over FanDuel Friday. Ben, you have my list, and now I'm going to share the list to the rest of the world, and I want to hear your thoughts and if you think someone will perform better. I only have QB1, running back 1, wide receiver 1. I have 2 tight ends, I have 2 defenses, and I have 1 flex.
Okay.
This is who I think will be the number 1 scorer. I don't know. I'm not good at player performances, but I want to hear what you have to say after. QB1, Justin Herbert versus the Jets. Like, he's going to go off, maybe 4 touchdowns, 300 yards. Justin Herbert, you are going to go off. I'm going to let you talk at the end of all this just so I can get through the list. Running back 1, Nyheim Hines against Green Bay. If you think I'm crazy, look at last week's numbers. He is going to repeat, if not do better. He is a receiving back. They're going to be playing down the entire game. And he's even worth more on FanDuel than Jonathan Taylor. Like Nyheim Hines, he's a great running back, a great receiving back, and I can't wait to see what he can do against the Packers. Wide receiver 1, without a doubt, Michael Thomas versus the Falcons. That game is going to be a shootout. It's going to be a shootout. That's how they always are, and I'm very excited for that game. That brings me to my tight ends. In the shootout game, my tight end 1 is Jared Cook. My tight end 2 is Hayden Hurst. I don't have to say anything more. They're going to get a lot of targets. They're going to get a lot of yards, maybe a touchdown each. My number 1 defense is the Vikings versus the Cowboys. My number 2 defense is the Dolphins versus the Broncos. I like the Dolphins defense a lot. I don't like the Broncos offense. That's why I chose that one. The first one, I don't even have to say anything more. The Vikings are going to destroy the Cowboys. Later tonight, I'm going to come out with my picks for Sunday Night Football. Vikings are a lock. I don't even know the spread. Vikings are a lock. And my number 1 flex option is Scary Terry McLaurin versus the Cincinnati Bengals. He is going to shred the Bengals secondary. And honestly, they might even win the game. Let's hear what you have to say, Ben.
All right. QB1, Justin Herbert, easy call. He's going to go
pretty quick. We only have a minute left.
Yeah. Okay, Nyheim Hines. Maybe, I mean, that's a pretty good pick. Maybe I'd put in Mike Davis, someone like that, as a better play. Michael Thomas is going to go off. Don't know about Cook and Hurst. Maybe you could put in Hawkinson. That would be a pretty good option. I like the Vikings, Dolphins as well. McLaurin is going to go off, I think. He's going to be the number 1 target for Alex Smith. So, yeah, pretty good.
Sounds good. This was a great episode. We have a lot of great content in the works. Make sure you follow at MaxS Sports on Instagram and like this video because I love your guys' support. I'm going to post on my sports blog later tonight. I'm going to post my Sunday Night Football pick, all my picks for Sunday, and I'm also going to post my FanDuel lineup for Sunday. I'm doing this all on Friday because it's FanDuel Friday. Couldn't be more excited. I'm a little jacked up. Red Bull, you do give me wings.